Hi, I'm Angela Granchelli, and you're watching WOOF on haligonia.ca. And today we have with us Jeff Collins from K-9 Orthotics Prosthetics Inc. And we're going to learn about his very unique local business. So I'm just going to give the floor to you right away, Jeff. Maybe tell a little bit about when your company started, why you started it, what you do.
Okay, well,
and we'll try not to let Nelson interrupt too much.
Basically, in a nutshell, what we do is basically the same as we would do for humans when it comes to orthotics and prosthetics and wheelchairs. We got started about 4 years ago. It got inspired by my black lab who suffered a knee injury, and knee injuries are quite common in dogs, and it's a quite common injury in humans as well. And we address it with the same applications. We use a knee brace, and this would be a knee brace for a dog, same as it would be for a human. We have mechanical joints and rigid plastic that goes around the leg.
This is what we would refer to as an orthotic, correct?
Yep, this would be
an orthotic. Everybody knows
orthotic.
what the difference even is between an orthotic and a prosthetic.
Well, good question. A lot of doctors don't know that. To tell you the truth. Orthotics is the art of accommodating existing body segments. An orthotic to support your hip, your knees. So it's basically a device that supports a current external part of the body. A prosthetic is the art of replacing components of the body that are missing, either be external, like a leg or an arm, or would be internal, like a prosthetic hip joint or a prosthetic knee joint. So prosthetics can be both internal and external applications, and that's the difference between the two. Orthotic is you work with the existing body, and prosthetics is you're replacing body parts.
So like
with artificial parts.
A leg made out of, what would you make a prosthetic out of?
Well, you'd make a prosthetic, it all depends on what kind of prosthetic you're making. For the most part though, we make prosthetic legs out of plastics, acrylic plastics.
That was going to be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you get back.
There's different kinds of plastics.
Okay.
So in short, really, we don't do anything different than we do for humans, except we design them to fit the dog's anatomy and body, and take into consideration dogs who like to chew and dog hair and things like that. But it's basically the same profession as it would be for humans. So we work with the veterinarians or work with the owners. If the owners require applications, you first have to be evaluated by the doctor to be assessed what the problem is. And then after that, we would work with the doctor to cast the dog. And then good call. And we would then work with the doctors to fit as well.
Okay. So you started 4 years ago. And you got interested in this because of your own dog.
Yeah.
And where did you learn?
Through the only school in Canada that provides orthotic prosthetic technical training. That's in Georgetown College in Toronto.
And you worked with human applications there?
Yeah.
And then you decided to open this business, which I understand is probably one of the very few in the world, let alone in Halifax or Nova Scotia.
Oh, very few in Canada for sure. There's other people in the U.S. that do it, and there's some people over in Europe that are doing it now as well. But I am one of the few in Canada. Only one in Canada that produces our own wheelchair lines. So we're unique in that way that we do all levels of service: orthotics, prosthetics, and wheelchairs.
Is that something new to your company?
The wheelchairs for about a year now, and it's taken off really well. Our wheelchair line is very well accepted, received by the dogs, and we come a long way with it. It's much different than our competitors' two-wheel cart versions, whereas ours is an actual wheelchair.
You have 3 and 4.
We have 3 wheels and 5. 3 and 5.
5 as well. What would you use? Okay.
Yeah, full body. It helps to support a dog while recovering. Usually it's for large dogs who cannot weight bear on all or just a few limbs, and they need to be nursed back slowly on weight bearing through their legs, especially again for the heavy set dogs.
And is there some use of these devices that can also be used by veterinarians, like for mobility when they're examining the dogs? Or maybe I misunderstood that before. I thought you had one that folded up and down.
No.
No. Hey, why don't you make one?
Who says we're not?
Yeah. So how does the dog stand into the wheelchair?
They're supported in the wheelchair.
By a harness?
Yeah, by a harness.
Wow.
And you can see a lot of this on our website too. You can see how the wheelchair supports them, as well as the knee braces and the prosthetics too. So our website gives a lot of good visuals and some videos how these applications work. And again, you know, you have to be properly assessed by your veterinarian to make sure we have a true diagnosis of what the injury is. You know, just because your dog may be, you know, lame in the knee doesn't necessarily mean that there's a knee problem. It could be something else, or it could be a knee injury, but what kind of knee injury? There's several kinds of knee injuries, so we have to make sure we know exactly what the problem is to know what kind of device to recommend and suggest.
So do you have a lot of local clients, or
Yeah, a
And
lot of local.
any very interesting success stories that you can talk about? They're all interesting.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it's great work that you do.
Yeah, well, you know, a local client called me this past couple of days. Back in June, I believe it was, we made her 5-pound Yorkshire Terrier a little wheelchair. At the time, I thought it was the smallest wheelchair we were ever going to make, because it's only a 5-pound Yorkshire Terrier, very tiny. And the owner wanted to have it colored, because we can have our wheelchairs powder coated to any color you really want. And so she's acquiring, you know, because I told her I put it on my website, and we're just going through some website changes, and we're going to get it up there so she can see. But of course, I'll email her as well. But in the near future, we'll have her little Yorkshire in her fire red hot wheelchair, just, you know, scooting around Halifax. So but you know, what's kind of funny about that is, you know, at the time we thought it was the smallest wheelchair yet that we were going to make, but after this weekend, we've made a little wheelchair for a 3.5-pound bunny rabbit. So I got a good feeling that's going to be the smallest yet.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not going to say anything yet, because someone might come to me with, I don't know, a rat or something. I don't know.
You would never know.
But we get a lot of interesting inquiries.
What other types of animals? Was there something
See,
very unusual out west?
Yeah, actually in the summertime we made a knee brace for a llama.
A llama?
Yeah, a llama, 350-pound llama. Back in the first year when I was doing some research, you know, I tackled a moose at a wildlife park in New Brunswick. And, you know, we provided wheelchair and orthotics for cats. And, you know, our name is K-9 Orthotics and Prosthetics, but we have been approached various kinds of animals, even a pig, vultures, you name it. But it's not to say we've done all those things. We've just been approached by it, but we have done some unique animals, though.
Nice. I may be a little distracted by my blockhead dog Nelson today, so
yeah, that's okay.
I apologize for that. But if you hadn't already mentioned, what types of conditions do you commonly get asked to do
That's a common.
devices for?
Our most common is a knee brace. We make probably 2 or 3 knee braces a week, because it is a common injury. And if the dog goes untreated, you know, more than likely that they're going to injure the only good leg they have due to it overcompensating. So in that time, you know, then you get 2 legs to be addressing, either both being surgical or both being orthotic applications. And we've been very beneficial. We've been very successful in benefiting dogs who could just wear the orthotic and did not necessarily have to have the surgery, because the orthotic provided a really good environment internally for the injury to recover. But we've also had times where the injury was so severe that the dog still required surgery even without the orthotic being involved. But we've had much better success stories after surgery when using a knee brace.
Good thing you know, Nelson.
Yeah.
So is that cruciate injuries?
Cruciate.
Cruciates?
Cruciate.
We're losing our microphone. You can take Nelson home if you'd like. Sit.
We've got a couple of dogs all ready to deal with.
Should have brought them all. We could have a little dog party here. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of knee injuries, and then we get a lot of senior dogs, I would think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just give them a little bit of dignity and quality of life.
Well, you know, they need some physical support, and they get it. And when they get physical support, everything else is easy, you know. When they get physical support, they recognize that, they become more confident in themselves, and they become more active and more jubilant, because now their mental attitude is increased on a more positive note, because they're more active, you know. It's just such as humans, we don't like being held down with sicknesses or physical challenges. we're able to get up and get out, it's a nice boost to our confidence, a nice boost to our morale, and our mental overall attitude.
So, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your business today, or anything that you'd like to talk about?
Well,
I've never known you to be shy.
well, it does happen. Not just that we're riding on a really good success of happy dogs. This past year, we made over 220 devices.
Oh wow,
and
that's amazing.
it is, and our success is very high. Top of my head, I only know maybe 10 devices that we had challenges that was hard pressed to accommodate the dog with some benefit. But I don't say we're 100% success every time. We have a very high success rate. Easy. However, just like humans and surgeries, nothing is ever guaranteed. But we certainly are committed and doing the best that we can and helping the dog.
And you're in Beaverbank.
We're in Beaverbank.
But you're not a drop-in type place, are you?
No. Our services are specialized. We deal directly with the veterinarian, and occasionally we see the clients at our facility. No, it's not just a drop-in.
No, but you do have a website, as you said, and contact information is up there.
Most certainly,
yeah. And didn't you have an interesting experience with the emergency clinic? Or you consistently have interesting experiences?
Well, not consistently, no. But I've had some of client cases that come my way that are canines who had experiences at the emergency, and they go from one extreme to another. One extreme of ending up in emergency in dire need, and then many months later end up recovering and having a full recovery and success. Wow. And that's who you should get on your show next to, is the emergency people, because they a lot of unsung heroes, if you will, because they do a lot with what little they know at the time of the canine's conditions, and work as best they can, and they're very committed, and they do a really good job, and the way they're organized as well. So there's unfortunately, the media likes to publicize a lot of negative things more than positive, and there's a lot of positive that comes out of there as well. So, and gotta promote those who do good for animals.
I'll get in touch with them.
Yeah.
I'd just like to ask you, what's the name of your website again?
Name of the website is K-9 Orthotics.com. That's K-9 Orthotics.com. Thanks, Randy.
Okay. So, we'll wrap it up, I guess, unless you have anything else. And I thank you so much for coming in, Jeff.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I just think your business is so interesting. Again, sorry about Nelson. I just couldn't leave him in the car today.
Don't apologize. Me apologize. The person who's going to be cleaning the floor.
Maybe it's going to be me. So, thank you again. You've been watching Woof on haligonia.ca, and our guest, Jeff Collins.
Thanks for having me, Angela.
See you next week.
You have a good day.
Thanks.
And you too, Nelson.
Oh, Nellie.